एक प्लांट को ग्रो होने में बहुत टाइम लगता है, उसको सींचने में बहुत टाइम लगता है, उसको सीड करने में बहुत टाइम लगता है, और पानी ज्यादा डालेंगे तो मर जाएगा. सो
Yeah.
एवरीथिंग इज important if you do it little by little. If you nurture it, you'll get a beautiful tree out.
So, hi, ma'am. Thank you for joining us in today's session of Mitti Ke Rang. We are very honored to have you on board.
Thank you
Uh,
very much, Khushi, and thank you very much, Mitti Ke Rang. I thank Amit also for having me here for this podcast. It's wonderful to be among you people.
so, how's your work life now these days since lockdown?
So lockdown has been even more busier. I won't say lockdown is like a breakdown for me, though many people say it's a crisis situation, it's a challenging situation, it's been totally shut. I think I have always been moving. In fact, the movement is even more because now you start thinking of the more innovative ways, the more creative ways, everything which was on paper or which was virtual, and you interacting with people, always meeting them, or at least going down to do a lot of training, mentoring, coaching. I think we've always been people of connect and touch. I do miss that touch. I do miss that presence of being among people because I'm totally a people's person. So whether I'm doing a social event or I'm going ahead and doing my professional work, that's something I miss. But then professional goals and personal goals have never stopped. Personal goals, I mean that developing myself and my skills towards people and my upbringing, and professional goals is towards my professional babies. So I call them my babies because we are developing them just like a baby. We nurture them, and whether it's a social event or whether it's a professional event, I think everybody is very particular and very passionate about their babies. So yes, Right to Rise and RKT Foundation are my sole developments, and I feel that yeah, it's wonderful. I think we are moving on. There's no nothing where we are stuck as
It's
such.
actually like a new outlook to see the world now with lockdown, and it's given a very new
Yeah, true.
perspective actually. Because with the lockdown, even I
Yes,
got the chance to connect with you. I mean, if not lockdown, I might be going to the college and working there.
absolutely, Kushi. So even on the point you've made it so beautiful that see, if lockdown has been there, one way we don't connect to people offline, but then we become more close to people online.
Yeah,
And for people who are very far, this distance has become so close. I mean, even if you're in Dubai or if you're in UAE or in UK or anywhere, Singapore, Australia, you're getting all your people closer now. So I think the digital media has made it more beautiful. Ideally, I see it in a very positive way because everything has its positives and negatives. So
yeah, yeah.
focus on the positives, you'll grow more.
Yeah, exactly. So I
Yes,
really liked how you treat your startup, your work as a baby, because every work needs a lot of nourishment like a child, and a lot of
absolutely.
time and a dedication towards it like a small baby. So that's really beautiful, like how you put your work as a priority like a child, that you have to work on it, feed it like a child every day. So that is very beautiful.
Yeah,
So
thank
I
you.
was like going through your bio. So you have a lot of achievements. You have done TEDx speaking. You are already a CEO. You're a woman leader entrepreneur. You have won so many awards, and I mean, whatnot. It might take a lot of time for making a list. So I just want to know who is Rena Khatri, and what is her moral drive that drives her to achieve so much in some time.
Right. So let's understand first what is Rena Khatri.
Yeah,
I'll just say Rena Khatri is ideally being human. Okay. So I call it being human. Why? Because it's also about being yourself, being unique, being able to understand self. Because at any pandemic or any challenging situation, if you're seeing every challenge as an opportunity, you see every crisis as an upcoming moment that you will grow. And yes, I have these babies. I have this little thing that most women come up and tell me, how do you create this balance between everything? You've achieved so much. I
Yes.
just tell them I go with the moment, I go with the flow. I've kept some set goals, and I know that these goals drive me towards them, and it's not like a big thrust on my head. So today, if I don't feel like doing something, I just take out maybe a palette and a paint board, and I start painting. If I feel like really dancing, then I can get my boys and go down to the rain and dance. And I can do crazy stuff. But all I'm saying is just be beautiful inside. Try and sense that you are an individual inside. You have a professional and a personal life. Schedule your day. Don't give it the name of sacrifices and or work life balance. Work life balance doesn't actually exist, it's a myth.
Okay.
Okay, you can be a very good juggler, and we've always been good in juggling as women. And as businesspreneurs, as entrepreneurs, I won't call it women empowerment and womanpreneurs, but I'll call it businesspreneurs, because whether you're a man or a woman, you're actually an entrepreneur. Let's understand that.
Yeah.
Secondly, don't get into guilt and sacrifices, because if you give the name of guilt and sacrifices, then you're actually not developing your baby like a baby. You're actually developing like a big load. Okay, that you've got so much to do, and you're just frustrated, and someday or the other you'll crash and break down. So
Yes.
go with the flow, create this plan, have your goals set, have your days aligned, structure out your entire day. I'm going to be doing only these 4 5 things, and then take care of yourself, because ideally you need to first take care of yourself.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
I
If you,
think once you are there, then you'll be motivated, and you'll see the beautiful you. And that's what I do, and that's what Rena is all about. Of course, Rena has made a lot of achievements. I have a company named Right to Rise. I have a CSR initiative called RKD Foundation. I am a limitless enabler and a breakthrough coach. I'm Globe Thrive 100 mentors in the world. I've also had many awards and accolades, like being on World HRB Congress as Women Achievers, and having EY Entrepreneur Startup Award, and a lot to do with United Nations Rex Karamveer Award. Lots of those accolades of EDX Harbour, United Nations, the big names. But ideally, I'll make it very simple. With everything what you do, it's always about the impact what you create. It's okay to do little, but it's important how you bring back the beautiful in that little.
yeah, that is so beautifully said, that, from
Yeah,
simplicity, you have to bring out the impact. It can be a very small thing that you want to do in your life, but it should be
yes,
impactful, even if it's impacting one person at a time, but I guess it
exactly.
should be impactful.
Yeah, so
So
I've been doing only that. I think I've been impacting one and one and one and one. And in the short interval of time, I think it became about 21,000 and more and more and more. And I have never been seeing that, what ideally this one is doing or that one is doing. I keep doing what I know and what I feel is okay to me. Of course, there have been collaborations, there have been people who've come in between, and we work together and stride it together. But I'm just saying, if you are focused on what is your aim and your goal, things will be very simple and very positive towards what you want to drive as a goal. Whether it's your baby, whether it's your company, whether it's a social initiative, whether it is developing you as a person.
yeah, that is very nice. It's like personal growth is much more important than anything else. So you should actually
Right.
take out time for yourself first, and then create impact from that.
True.
Nice.
Very nice.
So okay, you have Right to Rise. So what? So when did you started your Right to Rise, and how?
So Right to Rise started just about a year back, not even a year now. I have 20 years of experience and touched a lot of lives. Been doing. I've been postgraduated from the UK, and I've done a lot with VLSI chip design engineering. Of course, after such a lot of work into HR, IT development, I've been into training and development courses, devised myself as a trainer, coach, mentor on different platforms. So having done so much in my life, I ideally look back and said, what is that one place I want to niche down to? And having looked back at my journey, I said, everything starts with me. So what have been my setbacks? What is that I want to achieve and what is that I want to help other people doing? There has to be some set path on what am I trying to achieve. And when I look back, every time I found women coming back to me with some problem and me becoming their solution provider or their solution oriented person. So initially it started with women and the women empowerment. And then I got into POSH and POXO, got myself certified there, got multiple certifications with Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act and POXO Act and human rights. Also getting myself certified from Stanford and Harvard when we had the lockdown, because there are courses in City and Guild, which I'm also into training and development. I've also skilled there. I've done some courses from Harvard, from also Financial Institute of Canada. So these are some courses which people can develop themselves when they're looking at their self-development. Now, the thing what people do is that they fear when they are not able to achieve something. Okay. I believe that you should take it as a challenge and go and do it. So I might not be very good at some aspects, say financial or operational or HR. I would rather go and develop myself there and become a master at it. So I did that and I was developing myself, and eventually I came to developing my own concern with the mentorship of some of the mentors I have, that I want to help all the women. Okay. And with the women, they cannot get empowered if they don't have their partner or the partner in crime also in support. And that's the men.
Yeah.
Okay. So partner in crime is not another woman, but another man. So in every position, you always have women with men. You have men, you have women, you have transgender, you have LGBT, you have different genders and sex. And when we are talking about equality, dignity, respect, every time I thought, it's not the man who's putting it down, it's actually the woman who feels her innovation and myths, which is carrying on from generations. Okay. And this has to be broken both in the minds of the men and the women and the children who are coming up. So as today's youth, if I have to see my young boy who's growing in the teens, I need to be a very safe mother to tell him what's right and wrong. I need to tell him what is cybersecurity, which I speak about. I speak on POSH, POSCO, cybersecurity, human rights. When I'm talking to him about cybersecurity, human rights, and POSH and POSCO, I need to make him aware what has he to do with them. And tomorrow, if he gets somebody like a lady in his life, how does he deal with him? And that's when the system comes to equality. That's when I'm saying, if I'm a woman leader, I'm not a woman empowerment leader, I'm only a leader. Eventually, man ho ya woman ho, dono ek hi leader hote hain. It's just people who have made it two different terms. So I said, I need to step up into this. And we believe that every person has the right to rise. So my company's name is Right to Rise. With the same initiative that we nurture and we care everybody who comes in, and it's two hands together, and there's an evolvement of the birds coming out, which shows that, a beautiful emerging individual coming out if equality exists. And that's where dignity, respect, inclusion, diversity emerges out. So that's the story behind Right to Rise.
So that is very beautiful, like how you want a woman to come out of her superstitious myths, that her vicious cycle that she's stuck into from generations. Yeah. She should come out of it, so that's very beautifully put by you. Okay, so how's your journey been like in these few months? It's not even a year, you said. So how was the journey?
So every journey has its ups and downs. I won't say it's like you never have a straight road. Even if you look at the globe is round
Yeah.
and it has ups and downs everywhere. So yes, we've had our barriers, we've had certain factors which motivated us. One plus point is you're your own boss. Income potentials can be maintained. Motivation to keep yourself motivated every day is a very big challenge for many. But I say if you are not going to motivate yourself, how are you going to drive teams and people around you? So I keep smiling all the time. Yes, I have my ups and downs, but I see that those ups and downs are not relevantly open up to the world. Sometimes, yes, I try to be vulnerable. I say, look, I'm not actually in my moods of either delivering or giving something out to you. So maybe I just need my timeouts. Just need to be on my balcony, drinking a cup of coffee, enjoying some breeze. So maybe we can catch up later. Because if I don't have it in me, I can't spread it. It's just like we say that, why can't that person love me? Because that person doesn't have love in him. So only if you have that positivity in you, then can you give it out. So we had our strategies, we had our financial barriers, we always had this challenge that we want good, like-minded people. So even now, we are welcoming the different people who have our same value minds and same mindsets and same core values. So we like to get along with people who think like us on the long way. So everything, not all people are welcome. Sometimes there'll be shortage of resources, so that was another barrier. Like मुझे एक आदमी चाहिए जो ये करके दे. जरूरी नहीं है आपके पास वो आदमी हो. So I had to learn it. For example, you have to learn some animation tools or an illustrator tools to create flyers, banners. Sometimes you don't have resources where people put down a video together. So you have to learn the art of putting, editing, moving, allowing your venture to grow and allowing it to breathe. So lack of entrepreneurship in people. So sometimes you hire people, but those people don't have skills. Okay, they say that they are very good in digital marketing or in many other ways. So sometimes even that happens, some people tell you that they know something, and when you are going on the long way, then you see that they don't have. So then you can't just put away those people. Either you nurture them and grow them in the community, or then you help them to develop those skills. Or then if they have different alignment purpose, then you have to let go of them and bring in other. So all these things are always there for many startups, and we've also faced all that. But all I'm saying is that be consistent,
Yeah.
believe in yourself, have conviction on your startup babies, and keep moving.
Yeah.
You'll
The
get the right
main
people
point is
soon.
like keep moving and keep doing, no matter what.
Yeah,
That is
true.
nice. So I just want to know something that you said that you face the problems like vulnerability. Sometimes you also face burnout. So I came across a news 1 or 2 days back that the burnouts have been increased every month because of the lockdown. It's been increasing, especially in the
Yeah.
entrepreneurs or the startup leaders. They have been facing these kind of burnouts. They have been working from 100 hours a week and can't distinguish between the lines of personal life or a professional life. They're just mixing it. So they're not able to keep themselves sane, I would say. So what do you do to keep yourself out of the burnout and feeling of the negativity and the vulnerability that you might feel sometimes?
So I do many things. I don't know if many can do all those things, but
Even if one can do one thing, it will be a major help for them.
yeah, I'll share everything what I do. So I might go for a walk. I might start putting on the music and doing Zumba, or I might start doing some dancing exercise. If you're finding that funny, then probably sit down your balcony, not speaking to anybody and any phones. Just relax for about an hour, just with your cup or just looking out at people and the. Sometimes if you find kids on the roads and you can just enjoy the nature. Sometimes going and talking with somebody. So a lot of people like gossiping and that gives them relaxation. I would not want that, but then I make it a point that in a day I call at least 5 people. I might just casually call. So I might just call up, hi Kushi, how are you doing? And just chat with you for about 10 minutes. And maybe sharing that smile, sharing a miraculous moment, hearing out somebody if they are stressed or strained, and because there's so much bundled in you, sometimes you want to release it, sometimes you want to help someone release it. So when you do something like this, you're exchanging a lot of energies, and your positivity might reach somebody else, or if you're negative, somebody else positivity might reach you, or at least that moment of you being stuck flows. Okay, stress is caused because your energy is stopped, your blood flow is stopped, you are basically stuck. And why that happens is you might have not valued some relationship, you might not have trusted somebody, you might not be truthful somewhere. Sometimes you're not ethical to yourself or your concern. Sometimes you feel people are insignificant. मतलब आप काम करते हो लेकिन वैल्यू नहीं करते हो कि काम वो जो भी करता है आप ग्रेटफुल नहीं हो. If you do little also, start being humble and grateful. So these qualities, truthfulness, valuing people, valuing relationships, being humble, being grateful, practicing and talking with people, patience, resilience, these words are good to hear. If you start living them in the moment, you'll see that this thoughtfulness comes into you and you'll feel very peace and calm. So these things have really helped me because somewhere I can sense if I have a backache, then this backache is because I have done something which is loaded myself with a lot of stuff which I can't take in. Or if I have told something wrong, then I start feeling that heaviness in me. So I think your body talks to you, giving you all those signals. And fortunately, I don't get headaches or backaches or anything because I let myself flow. And most of the people who get it should know that it's because of a reason. Okay, nothing happens in our body without reasons. So I will just say, if you want to achieve more and if you want to go really far, then flow. That's the only word. Flow. Allow yourself to flow. How you want to flow, you can decide. I'm nobody to say you should be dancing or singing or calling or speaking or jumping or playing. Some people find fun even in playing with their children. Some people find fun in talking, walking, gymming, jogging, listening to music. There are many ways and umpteeness, meditation, doing pranayama, doing yoga, lots of other things. So whatever gives you joy or whatever at least makes you move. So that will actually help you. Yeah.
That is like cutting off from work for some time, actually.
Yeah, kind of. Absolutely. Cutting off yourself from anything. Suppose you're cooking and you're frustrated, I'm sure that dish is not going to get good. So better है कि बोलो कि भाई आज मैं कुक नहीं करने वाली हूँ, बाहर से ऑर्डर कर लो. बाहर से ऑर्डर नहीं होता तो then give it some time. Half an hour walk पे चले जाओ, वापस आके कुक कर लो. Because that is not having your love and affection. That food will not do good to anybody.
Yeah, even these like small things can create a mess in your life, actually. If you
Yeah,
doesn't make a
because
good
you're going
food,
to
it's like
आप
frustrating.
कुछ ना कुछ गलत कर दोगे उसमें और फिर वो खाना अच्छा भी नहीं बनेगा, फिर चिल्लाएंगे लोग. I mean, your loved ones will not like it, and then the day will all go bad. So it's better that you take some pause, and then move.
Yeah, that is nice. Take a pause from the work that you're doing. Okay,
Yeah,
so coming to Posh and Posco, so these are the acts that came like not even a decade. It's been like 7 to 8 years that it came into effect.
yeah,
So, so many of us don't even know what is Posh or Posco is all about. So if you can tell us a bit about Posco and what Posh is and why it came into effect, and some idea that many of us have no idea about. Especially the youngsters who have just graduated or came out of their high schools. They don't know what is Posh and Posco is, and I think it's a very initial step that they should really know about it so that they know where they are today and what they can do with it.
yeah. So good. Let us see what is POSH and POXO and help you out there. So POSH is Prevention of Sexual Harassment Act for Women at Workplace, and the act was devised in 2013, which had prevention, prohibition, and redressal. Okay, Now, as the Act says, the Act is specifically designed in 2013, okay, with a background of helping all the vulnerable class, that is the women who used to undergo assault, any kind of sexual abuse, sexual unwanted, unwelcome gestures, so on that range. Of course, the main aim was four different articles. One was dignity of life, dignity of her allowing to do all the work and to live with dignity, fundamental rights of women to equality, and the right to practice any kind of trade, profession without any caste, creed, religion, race, color, kind of occupation based on some aspect. If we start making a lady feel harassed or abused, this was what the fundamental rights said. And what was the act was? The act was devised to maintain five different things. And what were the five different things? To maintain women against any sexual abuse because of sexually colored remarks, physical contact or advances, a demand or request of sexual favors, showing pornography, or any other welcome, unwelcome, physical, verbal, or non-verbal conduct of sexual nature. So when I'm saying all these five things, whether it's physical contact and advances, I think हम college में हैं, या school में हैं, या workplace पे हैं. Every place you have man and women, correct? Every place you have different genders. What we're trying to say is bring in equality so that it's a place which is more comfortable and non-judgmental to man or women or any other gender. Now, when I'm saying that, many people don't even understand. Yes, many companies, many colleges have POSH Act policy, IC committees. लेकिन बहुत सारे लोग ये नहीं समझते equality पहले mind में लानी है. You have to be sensitive towards the other gender. Even today, we see many people talk ill towards a transgender or an LGBT. Okay, so try and understand that even today, if you have somebody like that in the ecosystem, they are one among us. It's just that we who see them differently and we act differently to them. So first, that mindset needs to change. Secondly, if we say equality, 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 we need to understand whether it's our grandparents, whether it's our parents, whether it's we, or whether it's you, the latest 22nd century kids. All of us have to be on the same scale. All of us need to understand different generations, different generation gaps, but men and women are equal. So are we really ready to listen to that? Because even now we see many people saying, लड़कियां ये नहीं कर सकती, लड़के वो नहीं कर सकते, लड़के रोते नहीं है, लड़कियां गैजेट्स के साथ नहीं खेल सकती, पूरा टाइम किचन में रहनी चाहिए, ये वो. We have so many things as biases and perceptions that we are not clear about the concept of equality and giving dignity and respect to women. We bring in all these articles. Dignity of life de do, dignity of respect de do, let her allow her to live, let her do her own jobs, let her grow and allow to work in any aspect. लेकिन जब भी हम कोई लड़की उठ के बोलती है भाई मुझे आर्मी में जाना है या नेवी में जाना है, every time she's been questioned, oh, what happens to your life next? If you go there, then you're lost so many years, and then we don't know whether you get married, you have kids. It's a choice. So what I'm trying to say is, yes, we have the act, we apply it at different places, but let's understand the basis behind it, that we need to start changing the way we think about things. So that kind of equality is what the POSH Act is trying to bring. POXO is more on prevention of child offenses. So again, sexual attempt, abuse, harassment, bullying, rape, any kind of child offenses come under POSHCO. So POSH is there, and for children, POSH is for adults, and we have POXO, which is for kids. So 0 to 18 come under POXO, and the adults come for POSH. So yes, that's another important act which came out in 2012, which we had Juvenile Justice Act before that, the JJ Act, but JJ Act never gave preferences to boys and girls. POSH Act is now for all children from all age, all gender, and they all have got the dignity of being safe. There are different law order systems which are created to help them out. And we at Right to Rise believe that, when we are talking about POSH or POSFO or human rights or any of these diversity and inclusion and equality, we see that we live and we walk the talk. Okay, we don't believe in just propaganding things. In fact, we are India's only comprehensive platform in India, ISO certified into 3 different provisions where we talk about skill building of these programs. Okay, so we have 10 different skill building courses. So we help even NGOs to develop their systems. We have a lot of freebies to NGOs where we develop those youth, develop the ecosystem of the NGO so that they can rise. Because everything doesn't come with the ultimate aim of money. We are
Yeah.
here to change an ecosystem and the change has to occur within. So somewhere I totally believe with my team that we need to create that change from the system itself, and for that there has to be more hands who come together and drive it. So yes,
Okay.
that's the aim behind POSH and POXO.
That is nice. That is how you put like with your organization as well. So what
Yeah.
is the procedure if someone feels that she or he's been harassed? Then what's the procedure? How they approach you and how your team act on it?
So POSH and POXO is being handled by multiple people. The government also has its e-cells and everything. If somebody undergoes harassment, there are e-cell box, and she-box is there for the adults. E-cell box is there for the POXO for government to help you. But as Right to Rise representatives, yes, we have people who come up to us, whether we are counseling them, whether we are giving them awareness sessions. We do a lot of awareness programs for awareness campaigns, programs for NGOs, for organizational firms, at schools, colleges, and we also go ahead and do certifications. We are a certified body. We are given certifications. We are working on some events in the rural and the mid-level people sector, the MSME sector and the government sector, where we're trying to reach out at the root level and help people who need our support. Now, when I'm talking about the support at a lower level where people are not able to afford certain cost, we still want to reach out and help them, and that is where RKT Foundation evolved 2 months back, where we want to join with other NGOs. We want to support everybody without a need of give and take and some kind of a monetary thing. We want to go ahead and help these people and expect that they come ahead and they get all the knowledge from us. And then we work on the root level in case there are cases. Then we start helping them, sorting them, getting the minds who work criminally to change as per their mindset. Because a criminal is not born. A criminal evolves because he's not been taught what right is and what wrong is. A criminal evolves because he's not evolved from an ecosystem which is told him that this is something you should not be doing. But criminal पैदा नहीं होता है. हम लोग अगर चेंज करना चाहते हैं तो उसमें थोड़ा टाइम लगता है, depends on what level he is at. And then essentially we try that we can change the mindset of the person through counseling, through reconciliation, through many other ways what we believe in. And with knowledge and skill which certified professionals at Right to Rise have, we totally believe that whether it's our counselors, whether it's our psychologists, whether it's a certified people on POSH and POXO, we totally believe that always the ethical solution is to reach out and help them. So if you have your value systems really clear, then yes, you can help them. So, yeah.
That is nice. So you said that criminals are not born. They are like criminals because of the conditions or because not being taught properly. So do you think that there is something need to be changed with the education system, and something should be introduced in the education system so that these laws are being told to us? Because I never got to know about POSH and POSCO when I was in 18 years of my school life. I had no idea what is it all about. I came across these terms when I came out to the world, and then I explored and then I got to know. So what do you think that how it needs to be changed and what can be changes be done?
So yes, a lot of changes need to be done in our education system. So number one, I feel that all the schools and colleges, see, everybody is aware that government has brought out this act in 2012 and 13. Everybody now is aware of POSH and POXO.
Yeah.
Still, there are many principles, there are many ecosystems where there are private schools, at least government aided schools. I know that they have the support of government. If they don't have the bandwidth to go and reach out, they can reach out to us. We can surely help them. Okay, in our best expertise, we would love to help them. But many of them, even now, they don't know. Not knowing, we need to spread the awareness. If you know many people, we would love to go and reach out to each one of them and empower them. Whether they are in the villages, whether they are in the towns, whether they are in the cities, we would love to reach out in different cities because we are catering to 6 cities now: Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi, Pune. We also want to reach out to Far East, but I've visited Kolkata many times and the neighboring, but I've not gone out. I've done only in the industrial zone or in the manufacturing plants, not in the local areas. But I'm just saying, if you know of any schools and colleges and places like this who don't know, the first step is we create the awareness through different mouths. Next, if people know, there are many schools and colleges who are not even ready to do it because they feel it's not an investment they're looking at. Let me tell you, friends, safety is always first. If you are not making societies where you stay, buildings, schools, colleges, even today they only talk about good touch and bad touch. Gone are those days where you can talk only about good touch and bad touch. Today, a 5-year-old is getting raped. Even last month in Maharashtra, we've had 1,723 cases of POSH and POXO.
Okay. That is too much.
And these are really ridiculous numbers. These are numbers which are true numbers. These are statistics which are very horrifying. And this horrible, horrendous activity is still happening as crime. And kids as young as 3 years and 4 years are getting raped by people who are very old and educated. And most of them, 99%, are people who you know. They are family members, people in your own houses, in your own ecosystems, friends, family, everybody who you know. So I'm just saying that if when we know all these things, why can't we spread the awareness? All we need to do is to go out and talk. So suppose if you know something today, you go out and tell your society people, look, I know this lady and I know Right to Rise and they are doing good work in this area. We should just spread the awareness in our building. All it requires is one session of few hours. And if we keep spreading that word, at least the basic is getting an awareness done and a policy made so that your system is safe. Next comes the IC and the committees and how they take care. But at least get the awareness and everybody aware. If you get the worst part of it is, so I've done a lot of Facebook lives, at least in the lockdown, I would have done about 50 to 60 Facebook lives and Insta lives. In every session, I tell them the same thing, whether we are talking about cybersecurity, whether we're talking about POSH, POXO, human rights, always I keep telling them one important thing. This session is meant for all the parents. This session is meant for all the educators. This session is meant for the principals. This session is meant for you to go out and spread this word to everybody you know. If you as a youth today go tell your friend tells another person, he goes and tells, at least I know that you 6 of you are safe. You know what to do when something happens. Same way, if I teach my 6-year-old and the 6-year-old goes and talks to his friend, he spreads the word. And me as a mother, if I have to wait, oh, my husband is going to talk to my boy about sex and about porn and about what does body parts mean and all that, then I'm not even doing my duty. Why do I have to wait for my husband to talk to my boy? It is my duty to talk to my boy or girl and ask him, do you know what kissing means? Do you know what sex means? Do you know what porn means? Do you know what body parts mean? And believe me, even before you teach something, nowadays kids know everything.
Yeah.
So why not be a mature parent? Why not be a mature educator? Why not be a mature individual to talk very openly about things? And believe me, youth, kids, adults are quite open to talking about this because they want to know more about it. They want to know how to be safe. It's just that we are shunning away and shying away with these things, which is not good. So we are not becoming more safe, aware, but we are trying to create an ecosystem of fear, scared, unknown. When you don't know something, you're more scared. But if we keep opening up the doors, what happens is, if I ask you what is sex, you will tell something, I will tell something. The next question will be what is body part, what is this, what is that. Then what happens if somebody comes and tells me, somebody is going to touch me, what do I do? So I will tell you different self-defense techniques. I will tell you which are the apps you need to be safe. I will tell you how to be self-aware. I will tell you what is unwanted, unwelcomed behavior, touches. That's how it all moves. So I welcome each one of you, whether it's at Miti Ke Rang, whether it's at anybody who watches this video. Please reach out. Please try and understand these sessions. Do these sessions in your ecosystem, whether it's your society, whether it's your school, whether it's a college, whether it's your any setup, organization, firm, dentist firm, your company, your MSME sector, NGOs. Do these sessions day in and day out so that people become more and more and more self-aware. That's what I urge. And I'm sure that this place is going to become very, very safe, healthy ecosystem which we are trying to build as Right to Rise believes. So yes.
So I really like the point that you said that educators and parents need to play a very major role in educating the children
Yeah.
about these pointers. So I feel like parents and our educators doesn't teach us they even doesn't teach us what is right touch and a wrong touch. Sometimes they usually miss these things because they feel that they are not comfortable or something like that, and parents also doesn't teach us these kind of things, and then we because of the curiosity people go to on internet and
Yeah.
find porn.
You'll go to Google, you'll go to dictionaries, you'll go to your friends, you
Exactly.
may not get the right answers.
Yeah, because our friends also misguide us because they're also same age. They even don't know
Yeah,
anything. And we are something that trust our friends more, and our parents should play a very major role
absolutely.
when it comes to all
Absolutely.
these things. I think the rape
True,
cases
true, Kushi.
automatically will become very less, and these kind of things will become very less if parents take the first step. Parents and the educator takes the first step.
अगर बच्चों को सब पता है कि कैसे करना है तो माँ बाप की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी. अगर टीचर्स ने माँ बाप को समझा दिया तो टीचर्स की इतनी उस एरिया में जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. अगर हम सब समझ जाते हैं तो लॉ ऑर्डर पुलिस और बाकी चीजों की जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ेगी.
We even
Because we
have the
know
sex
at
education.
least how to stop it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. We have the sex education chapter in class. We had that chapter in class 8th, and it became a very big hype when we came
Yeah.
across the
Yeah.
chapter. And our teacher just
True.
wrapped it up in 1 or 2 days, and no one actually knew what is that all about. I mean, no one knew, and everyone was the curiosity became at a hype, and students start talking about it, and it was a very uncomfortable behavior that creates at a point of time.
Yeah. That's true. True. Very, very well said. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, with your this journey, have you felt like a very challenging case that came to you, which you couldn't, solve it or something like that, or which you might remember it for years? That yeah, that was a difficult case, which had like very less evidence, and it was a very strong case. Some case that came up for you.
See, there are many cases where sometimes we are a little lost with the case and with the witnesses, because anything which happens probably in the corner, or if there's somebody who corners you inside a lift or a corner zone, or maybe there have been youth who've come up to me and said, दीदी मैं किसी को बोल नहीं पाया because मैं लड़का हूँ, मेरे ऊपर विश्वास कौन करेगा.
Yeah.
Or some girls who are mishandling boys while traveling, while being in college, while moving in share rickshaws or in buses or in any kind of transport. Or there have been even ladies and men who have been mishandled each other. Sometimes the women are also little naughty towards the male gender, and sometimes the male gender also feel that maybe women don't understand, but they understand much more. So many a times when the criminal really knows how to play his game, probably he's planned his entire event, and he set up the transport, and there is no ways or no clues to find out, then it becomes a little difficult. even in workspaces when we found a lot of gender gaps where the male feels, oh, it's okay. I mean, I have, ideally, these kind of things happen every day. So why are you hyping it up? So it's not a very casual thing. We need to understand that. There have been situations where females have been harassed in cornered situations, maybe a water cooler or a situation in the office where there is no cameras, or maybe while going down traveling or outside office hours, or maybe in the lift, or maybe in the zone when you're walking down the stairs. You cornering, you holding, you pleading for going out over some sexual favor, or maybe over a night or a coffee or something like that. I mean, those are very casual things. We can't prove those things, but then yes, sometimes when we have these awkward situations, all we can do is to either see the background history and eliminate the person from the workplace, or maybe give him a warning and then keep an eye on him for the next few months. So there will be a lot of situations, and we generally don't discuss any particular situation with any particular names on social media or any kind of interviews. But generalized, many cases occur both in workplace, both in colleges. Um, Mostly in colleges, both sides sexes are there. More boys nowadays, where boys are not able to speak up because they are very silenced out people. But girls have become more daredevils because women empowerment is on high, so they speak a lot. But some girls are quiet and silent, and yeah, you can actually sense it in their eyes, and sometimes they can't speak because they've undergone it multiple times. Okay, so there are women who undergo sexual assault constantly for 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, um, multiple times, being raped or being cornered by people. So those kind of situations become difficult because initially you might have consented for it. If you've consented for it and you got into a relationship and now you're stuck because the person is blackmailing you and trying to play around with you, then it becomes difficult to prove it because you've already given consent, and the consent is with money or not money. And then how have you been responsive to it? Have you been messaging him? Have you exchanged photographs? So all those things, see, taking selfies, becoming very open, where you go, where you come, what do you do, all that is something which I think youth have to become more mature now. Okay, you can't just keep sharing things in the fun of it. Sometimes you are also being forced it. Sometimes you are in very good moods or mood swings, I should say, where you say, okay, fine, it's all right with one. And sometimes people force you into sending snaps which you shouldn't, where you're unrobed, when you're unclothed, and suddenly you feel that, okay, he's my boyfriend, I should send. See, he might be your boyfriend today, he may not be one tomorrow. So let's understand what are the consequences of it. And it's difficult for somebody to work on the posh case when you have started it on a different tone and you're ending it at a different tone. And even if there are witnesses, very few of them want to come ahead and talk about it. So situations can get complicated. All I can say is that be aware and don't do all these things. Because initially, if you're a little smart, you can be friends, you can talk, you can get along, you can go along. But understand that when you are with people, you need to behave and be mature. What you should share, what you should not share, your personal information, family information, who's there in family, who's not there, your personal phone numbers, addresses, where you stay. If you can just keep all that away from discussions with youth, then it should be good. They don't need to know everything about you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you said that Mila, becoming vulnerable now because they don't know how to approach. Maybe that's the reason. So
Yeah.
and the Posh is also on focused majorly on women sexual assaultment. So is there any rules, regulations that a company or schools or colleges follow that a male can also go and talk about these things?
So all schools and all colleges have a committee called Student Development Cell. In the Student Development Cell, you have a separate cell called Gender Cell, or you have a gender equality cell or a student You call it quality development cell, women development cell, posh cell, poshka cell, whatever. These are different names colleges and schools give. Student counseling is different from posh cell. Student development cell should have a separate posh committee, which people don't understand sometimes. And having same people in the ecosystem also doesn't help, because sometimes people in the ecosystem only are corrupted.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's understand first, getting that committee made by a certified professional who knows what is law, order, and who is the person who's true and can take care of the children and the youth should be developed and devised. Of course, the gender committee is going to have all teachers, all staff from the same college, but picking and choosing people is another choice which we develop and devise. We have a certain methodology of devising the cell. Once you devise that cell, I think they take care of all the provisions, because we as one more person in the cell approach, help, and also structure out the entire process. But अगर लड़की को कुछ होता है तो लड़की आके कंप्लेन कर सकती है, लड़के को कुछ होता है तो लड़का आके कंप्लेन कर सकता है. Only thing is, girls are supported under POSH. Boys are not supported under POSH. If something very major happens with them, then they can file an FIR and the police will take care of the case. But if it's small misunderstandings and small follow-ups and people just nudging and steering and leering and kind of playfulness, ideally counseling and other things can be done by the POSH committee. But unfortunately, the law is made only for the ladies, and that's why sometimes the ladies take a little advantage. But then we tell the boys how to be safe. That's another part of the program that we do, that we tell them how they need to deal with this and how they can be a little aware and mature over these situations. So yes, you can reach out to Right to Rise. I'm sure they'll help you in developing and devising the entire committee, whether it's a student cell or whether it's an organizational IC committee, or maybe if you're an SME, an entrepreneur or startup having less amount of people, less than 10, then you can get in touch with us. We can develop your system or connect you with a nearby local complaints committee. So they take care of the post. Okay.
Oh, that is very nice. Like, I really learned a lot about the procedure, about the awareness, about giving the consultancy and awareness amongst the youth, and creating that awareness with the educators and company managers. So when you started with the Right to Rise, you might have felt a lot of challenges. Once you started it, and you might have felt a lot of fear of failure also. So how do you tackle with those kind of feelings when you started with your venture?
Okay, so you're asking me, during the venture, did I find any difficulties or what?
Yeah, like you might have felt this fear of failure, that okay, it might get
Yeah.
failed, it might not go there which you want it to be, and now it is. But so how did you tackle
Ideally,
with that?
yeah, it's a very interesting question. I'm still thinking. So fear of failure is there before every small thing, right? Even today, when you go for an exam, or when you go for something big, or if you go for a professional speaking summit, or if you go for a training, or if you go for a certification, or if you go and do something in life new, like you want to be on a podcast, or you want to be on your video channel or a YouTube channel, even then you will start having the fear, right? So it's the same thing, it's the same feeling. Every day we go through that fear, and every day it's important that you win over the fear. Now, whether you win it by talking to yourself or win it by learning it and putting in application, of course, the first time you make a laddu, the laddu will not be round, right? So you
Yeah.
will be disappointed, and then again you'll say, let me try one more time. And I'm sure the fourth or fifth time the laddu will be perfectly round. So the same thing is with your skill and knowledge. You may not be good at it all the time, but with the feedback you get. So of course, I've been very fortunate that I've been working on my skills all the time, and I've been getting a lot of positive comments. I have people coming from all over abroad. In fact, for my certification also, I have people from Dubai and Singapore and UK and Nigeria. And I'm very happy because people find value in it. And it's not about quantity. You will find many people doing loads and loads. For me, it is not about quantity, it's about the quality which comes out from Right to Rise. The quality has to be good. People have to talk that, Right to Rise essentially does good work, quality work. And that what matters. So my intent from the beginning has always been that touch one life, two life, three life, four life, but touch it properly. एक प्लांट को ग्रो होने में बहुत टाइम लगता है, उसको सींचने में बहुत टाइम लगता है, उसको सीड करने में बहुत टाइम लगता है, और पानी ज्यादा डालेंगे तो मर जाएगा. So everything is important if you do it little by little. If you nurture it, you'll get a beautiful tree out. Of course, sometimes you over nurture it or under nurture it, you'll still get a tree out, but the tree might not give you the fruit you want.
Balancing all the things is very important.
Exactly. So what fruit do you want? Do you want a khatta fruit? You want a meetha fruit? Do you want a sour fruit? Do you want a sweet fruit? Do you want a sweet sour fruit? Or are you okay with the shape of the fruit? Is the fruit round? Is it curly? Is it uneasy? Is it unlikely? If you're okay with that fruit, then it's fine. So I believe that the fruit has to be somewhat imperfect but perfect, because you can never be perfect.
Yeah, that is nice. Somewhat imperfect and be perfect. That's nice. That's really nice. So wrapping up with the podcast for today, I have like last question for you. If anyone wants to start their own venture and come into this industry which you work in, so any advice that you would like to give that person, that if you're doing this, do it in this way, or think you keep this thing in your mind, keep this thing as in your mindset. So any advice that you have?
Okay, so if you're ready to become another enabler, come and join us. If you are somebody who feels the same passion as I do when I talk about uplifting lives, so it's all about men, women, child, transgender, LGBT, and every soul on the earth. It's not only about women here. It's about creating equality, dignity, respect for everybody out there. If you feel the same conviction in the same dream, join us, grow with us, be successful with us, but believe one thing in us, that we believe in truthfulness, humility, gratitude. We always learn by growing. We even take feedback with a happy smile. And yes, if you're here to be your boss, then come with us, because we have no bosses, we have no students, we have no workers. We are all equal who are driving towards one dream. And if you can dream big, then I'm sure you can do it. So I'm looking forward for all you wonderful people to walk alongside with me, of course guided with me, but let's join together and create this beautiful world together.
It's very wonderful, and I had a very a very broad-minded mindset today with your talking to you about how to tackle with the feelings of negativity, breakdowns, and also like how Posh and Posco is actually impacted even like thousands of lives and will keep impacting. And Right to Life is doing Right to Rise is doing amazing, and I feel that one day it will be a very beautiful nation that will come into place with your venture.
So, great. Thank you. The pleasure has been mine. It was wonderful to share the lovely life and the lovely feelings at Mitti Ke Rang, and it was a pleasure to speak alongside with you, Khushi. Thank you very much for having me. Thank you for all the founders of Mitti Ke Rang and all the associated team people. I think you're brilliantly doing awesome work for the community. We look forward to growing with you, and thank you very much for having me.
Pleasure.
With lots of love and light, Right to Rise team. Thank you.
Thank you so much.